Good morning. Surprise, surprise. Okay, we're going to do a process today. I'll just give people a moment to come on. And then we'll get started. So wherever you're watching from, say hello. Just going to turn my fan on. To keep the mosquitoes away. Keep the mozzies away. All right. So who's here? Who is here? And now I'm getting blown. So we are going to do a process before our inner circle. So if you are in inner circle, feel free to come over to the Zoom. And if you're not, you can continue to watch while we go along. Just make sure that I can see you. At the moment, I've only got the Zoom up, but if you're watching from any other platform, say hello because I will see it eventually. And if you've got any questions or comments, you can add them in and we'll go from there. So I'm Cynthia Harrison, your mystic medicine woman, your metaphysical minister. But today I'm here to share with you some spirit literacy. Oh, what? Yes. Okay. So let's get started because we have Inner Circle coming up. Okay. So what is spirit literacy? Well, we've been talking about fear literacy lately. Our beliefs and conditioning patterns and how we have been deceived. We've been deceived, of what fear is, what the fear of fear is, what love and fear are, and what the fear of fear and fear of love are. So I've been talking about that more on Sundays. And when I show up here, I'm going to be talking more about spirit literacy. So I'm a mystic Cynthia. So if you want to know anything about services, programs, or contact me directly, you could go to mysticcynthia.com. So being a mystic is going direct to the beloved, okay? And when we do that, we get access to all other abilities that are human abilities, okay? You're not special necessarily, although your mama probably told you so. Your mama probably told you so, all right? But you know what I mean, okay? We hear this language, and I have a background in anthropology and social sciences and all sorts of interesting things, but the gist of it is that I study the human as a species, right? The physiology, the physical, the soul to spirit, okay? And why I'm mentioning that is because meaning making is really important. Like, what's the meaning you make? So talking about spirit literacy, I've been teaching intuitive studies, so psychic abilities, mediumship abilities, trance abilities, trance mediumship abilities, telepathy. I've done formal telepathy, remote viewing, research over the years. You name it. Anyway, the point is that as I'm going deeper broader, or finding the meaning and the direct experience and assisting others to get their direct experience in all these areas, and finding the language, or I found for many years now, the language wasn't meeting in the way that was aligned. Let's just say it that way, okay? So when I speak, I feel it, as many of you may as well. And so when we say things and it's not, I mean, see, even truth, see, I just did it then. So as I'm feeling into or just being with the words, right? The vibration that's coming through me. When we're literate, we have more opportunity to go, that's not correct, or that's not in the highest alignment. Does that make sense? So I can see the Facebook group at the moment, or one of them. So say hello so I can see who's there. So spirit literacy is what I'm bringing into the world. Is another way, or a more aligned way, or a more meaningful way of understanding all the words and experiences we have with our consciousnesses. So meaning, and those of you that did the last trance and channeling program with me would know that it was changing in this direction, because you know, I can teach the basics and use the language that other people are using, but a lot of it's incorrect. Okay, a lot of it's incorrect, and it's fear-based. It's fear of fear-based, or it's fear of love-based. Okay, so I mean, we can talk about that if you're interested. I'm here to take you through a process today. So who's interested? Let me just see if I can get the restream up to see who is here. Let me see if I can. So I can see the, oh, there we go. I can. All right. So I have the chat up. If you're watching from any of the platforms, YouTube, any of the Facebook groups, I'm not streaming to Instagram anymore because they've cut me off. So, so you don't get lives there anymore, but you do get the shorts. Okay, so let's get started. Are we ready? Are we ready? And what have I said so far that you're like, what? Or, yeah. So those of you that have done trance with me, or even channeling, you know, we've got all these names, and there's such subtlety between how we get information. It's just like how I talk about viewing. For many years now, I've been teaching this for 20-something years. And I used to identify the different types of viewing that I am. And then I just stopped, and I would just say, I'm viewing. So there's nuances in the language, right? The literacy of, well, what does viewing mean? What am I viewing? Am I using these eyes? Am I viewing the viewing screen? Right? There's a muscle that's built, and you can see on the viewing screen. Am I seeing within my head, in the mind's eye? Am I seeing within my whole body? Or am I seeing as the holographic information, viewing and seeing what I am and what's within me, and all the portals and whatnot, all the deities in front of me, all of the above. Okay. So what are the differences? So this is spirit literacy. All right. I've tap danced enough. I'm going into the process so that we can, so those of you in Inner Circle, we'll roll into Inner Circle after this. It'll probably be hopefully about 15 minutes of this. I'm going to call it an Inner Council Spirit Literacy Mystical Process. How's that? Or Spirit Literacy Mystical Process. Basically, you're just accessing aspects of yourself. You see how the spiritual ego wants to make it all this, well, it's ego, right? Look how good I am because I can do this. I can do all of it. And I'm no better than you. And you know how I know? Because I teach you how to do what I do. All of you can. All of you can. You just haven't been taught. And if you have you been taught using language that is slightly misaligned, doesn't quite make sense? Is it true on every level? So it does make it difficult to speak at times. And those of you that know me will get this. So when I'm teaching basics, I will use language that majority know, okay? You know, anyway, let's get into the process because I'm not necessarily teaching you spirit literacy here right now. I'm just introducing you to how I am in the world, how I'm R-ing in the world. So if you watched Sunday's sharing, it's still up. If you want to go and have a look at that full, I think it's about 50 minutes teaching and process. You'll get a bit of an idea around the R-ing, doing being into R-ing. And this is sort of what I'm getting at. So this process is about 10, 15 minutes. So it just depends how slow I go. So let's just settle in and take a breath and prepare to go on this little journey with me, okay? It's safe. You're safe. There's nothing here but you talking to you about you. Feel into that. It's all you talking to you about you. Even the spirit that came in my vision this morning, and I don't think I'll have time to go into that. You know, it looked like somebody I knew, yet it's an aspect of me at a different consciousness. So find a comfortable spot where you feel safe, or at least some stabilization of your physical, okay? We'll get into this so we can get through it. Take some breaths. Settle in, creating the space where you won't be disturbed, where possibly you have a journal or a pen or paper, something to write with after the fact. But if you haven't got it, you can do it later. You could dim the lights or even light a candle if you listen to the replay. But if you haven't any of that right now, just sit. Sit with me. Sit together in this space. And we're going to set an intention. We're going to set an intention. Welcome to those that just came. So if you've got 10 minutes or so, we're going through a spirit literacy, mystical process, a nice little 10 or so minute process to settle in and meet other aspects of yourself. So, your intention. You can choose to say this or just feel into it as I say it for us. I am about to meet different aspects of my own expanded consciousness. Whatever I experience, voices, images, sensations, knowings, comes from within my own awareness. Comes from within my own awareness. I am safe because I am always in communication with myself. All right. Stepping in, entering the mystical state. So preparing our consciousness. So closing your eyes if you feel inclined, and let's take 3 deep breaths together. So breathing through the nose and out the mouth, that expands the field. Noticing how your body and energy feels, breathing. As you start to shift your state of awareness. Noticing how you are in this moment. And as we continue to breathe, let yourself settle deeper into your internal landscape. Just settling in, relaxing in to your landscape, your internal landscape. Observing your awareness, watching your breath, just allowing whatever happens. Your analytical mind may perhaps be commenting on the process. You may be feeling a sense of noting comfort or resistance. Your body awareness, your tracking of physical sensation. These are all multiple aspects of your consciousness operating simultaneously. So notice your magnificent self, all the aspects of your magnificent self, your human, the magnificent human and our species. Now I invite you to place a hand on your heart if you would like, and then bring your attention to your forehead. And if you like, you could place your hand just to make contact, but if you're practiced, you may just like to bring attention to the heart or the chest, center, and the head. Just feel the warmth and connection. This is activating the head and the heart, the neurobiological system that supports self-awareness and emotional regulation. So begin to slow your breathing and see how you go. We'll start with 6 counts in. So breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. And then out 1, 2, 3, 4. Those of you that know the 8 breath or the 1 minute breath, that's 20 counts, can go and do that. But if you're just starting, see how the 4 count feels for you. So counting a breath in for 4 at your pace, Hold for 4. And then out for 4. So we'll just start there. And this shifts your nervous system towards a state that supports expanded awareness. It's the same state we use for meditation and spiritual experiences. But you're consciously creating this condition for accessing different aspects of consciousness. Okay. So don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. Just allow the breath. If it's difficult to do 4 or it seems really slow, try 6. Breath of 6. In, hold. Or 8, the 8 breath, which is our general yogic breath. Now imagine yourself standing in a sacred space. What is that sacred space for you? Within your own consciousness, bring that sense of a sacred, safe space into your consciousness. It may be a forest clearing. It may be ancient tree grove. It may be a cathedral of light, a cosmic space. It may be here with me in Hawaii. It may be, at the river bed in, Perth, Australia. It may be in Colorado. It may be in your backyard. Where's that safe, sacred space within your own consciousness? Or a simple, peaceful place. This is your internal meeting place, the space where different aspects of your consciousness can dialogue. So notice how your mind is naturally creating this space. Breathe. The next part, we're going to, for those of you who've never done this, meet your inner council, so to speak, or the aspects of you. So from this sacred, safe inner space, we're just calling forth a part of ourselves we may call the higher self. There's many aspects of higher selves, higher self, highest self, highest self, many consciousnesses. So don't get caught up on the language of what we're calling it. It's another aspect of yourself, an intelligent aspect of yourself, the aspect of your consciousness that holds your highest wisdom and perspective. So whatever you want to call that, let's just say the higher self, for want of a better word. And just notice how this presence appears to you. So you're sitting, you're observing, you're allowing, and just call forth. So literally say, higher self, how you doing? Come and say g'day. Someone come and say aloha. Come and say hello. Or come here. Make yourself known. And wait. Listen with your whole body, all your system, as a feeling of expanded awareness So you may sense it in the energy just off your physical body. You may sense it on your skin. You may sense it internally. You may have a visual of an image or a figure, a voice or a knowing, or an energy or a light, whatever it is. No judgment, just allow. And if there's no thing, that's information. No information is data. So we don't judge. This is your expanded consciousness connecting, speaking to you, to your everyday awareness, so your general state of consciousness. So just take a moment to deepen into this potential. Remember to breathe. If there's a lot of mind coming in, do an expanded breath. Breathe in through the nose. Expand. And invite your higher aspect of self to come forward and notice. It's all you're doing. And once you've done that, so if you're still not sure, you can just sit in that. Those of you who would like to ask something, you could say, what do I need to most understand? Or what do I most need to understand right now? And listen without forcing, without judging, just allow the response. Now, the response could be a sensation, a knowing, a sound, a flicker, a light, a whole vision, one word. Don't judge it. Don't grasp for more. Just let the response come in whatever form, words, images. Feelings, sudden knowing. This is your unconscious wisdom. This is your wisdom, your intelligence. Your wisdom accessing itself through this dialogue. It's as simple as that. So you can practice. So those who would like to go further, you're now going to call forth a primary guide, whatever that is for you. It really is an aspect of yourself. So the aspect of consciousness that serves as your spiritual teacher, your protector, so to speak. I don't believe that we need protectors, but you may have that meaning or idea. But basically, it's an aspect of consciousness that serves you. So it may be an archetypal figure like a wise elder, an angelic being, an animal spirit. It could be a feeling of protective presence or this safety. It may be a voice of guidance, an energy to support or direct you. So it's the same or similar process. It's just another aspect of your consciousness. So call forth or ask that primary inner guide to step forward and sense. And notice the difference between the higher self, what that felt like, what that sense is, and what this one is. Is there a difference? Is it the same? No judgment, just observing, just witnessing. Okay. And when you have that, it may just be such a subtle little shift. And if you're new or you've never done this before, I'm telling you, I've had students say they didn't get anything. And when I'd ask them, they got so much information, but they were taught or conditioned out of it. So please allow whatever nuance of subtlety to just be. And you could ask a question. It could be anything, but let's just all say something like, what would best support my growth at this time? And then listen, what would best support my growth at this time? And just notice the response. Does it differ from the higher self's communication? What are the different aspects of consciousness? What are the qualities? How do they differ? Okay. So sit there for a moment and just allow. And again, no information is information. We're not judging it. One fleeting piece of information is the answer. You may not be able to understand it right now, but just make a note for yourself, as it may make more sense as you go through your day. Okay? Now we're going to go into, we'll just do one more piece and then we'll integrate. I'm cutting this a little short. A crucial part of spiritual literacy is encountering or understanding that there is an aspect of fear. Okay? So we're going to call forth an aspect that carries your resistance, your fear or concern about, it might be your spiritual exploration, let's say, but you could put in whatever you want. So let's step in or allow to step in an aspect of you that carries your resistance. Okay, so it may be a skeptical or a critical voice that's questioning this process. It may be a fearful part or something, some part of you that's worried about an aspect of your spiritual practice, maybe losing reality, or are you mad? Did you really see that or experience that? It may be an angry aspect that resisted change or is resisting change. It could be a sad part that feels abandoned or misunderstood. So just for this moment, allow to step in. So give permission for the part of your consciousness, an aspect that carries your resistance, to make itself known. And we're only going to stay here for a moment and ask that aspect of self, what are you trying to protect me from? What are you trying to protect me from? Say, hey, shadow self, or aspect of my fear, what I'm scared of. Could even be an inner child, a younger aspect of self. It doesn't matter. But you're going to ask, what are you trying to protect me from? And listen and respect with curiosity, whatever comes. Because this aspect carries valuable information about your needs and your boundaries. Okay, I'll just give you a moment to do that. The aspect of self that protects me. What are you protecting me from? And listen with your whole self, all aspects of self. And more likely than not, it'll be just a tiny piece of information. It may be a word, a couple of words. It may be a sense. It may be a memory. It may be an image. It may be a sound. It may be a taste or a smell. It could be so subtle. It could be a piece of a song. Okay. I'm going through this fairly quickly because we don't need to sit for hours necessarily. When you practice and have good connection, it's like ask the question, there it is, there it is, there it is. We're not having to grasp for it. We're just allowing it to come through. So a little bit of integration and then we'll complete, because I'm a little bit over time. So imagine all these aspects of self, right? This council conversation, for want of a better word. This is an integration dialogue, okay? So you've got your higher self, which was the first part, the inner guide aspect of self, the second part, maybe an internalized loved one, a shadow voice, or the protector. And they're all in council together within your consciousness, right? They're all in council together within you, your consciousness. So how can I honor all of you in my spiritual practice? So a question to ask your full counsel or all the aspects of yourself. How can I honor you all in my practice? So it could be spiritual practice, but I don't see any real definition between my everyday life and my spiritual practice. My life is spiritual. It is spirit. So how can I honor all of the aspects of myself, all of my different levels of consciousness in my daily life, and listen. Notice how these different aspects of consciousness can dialogue with each other through you. This is advanced spirit literacy. It's facilitating communication between the different parts of your expanded awareness. So just take a moment to fully recognize what just happened. You've received access, or you have accessed multiple aspects of your consciousness, each with distinct qualities, each with different wisdom. And you created a mystical experience using your own natural capacity for self-projection and internal dialogue. So every spiritual experience you have ever had, every message from guides, every divine download, every channeled wisdom was the same process. Your consciousness exploring itself through dialogue, projected dialogue, expanded expression. So claim your power. Feel the empowerment in this recognition. So just take a moment, breathe into it, feel it. You are not dependent on external spiritual authorities. You carry within your consciousness everything you need for your guidance and growth, your spiritual direction and growth. Okay. So let's start closing the sacred space, returning, thanking each aspect of consciousness that you've met, being in gratitude for the experience, whether you were conscious of it or not, whether you experienced something or not. Whatever you did or didn't is data, is information, is intelligence. Okay. So thank you. And gratitude, right, for showing up. Thank you. I love you. Right. I appreciate your guidance and your intelligence. Thank you, higher self. Thank you, protector. Thank you, internal guidance. Right. Thank every aspect that showed. And then feeling yourself returning to ordinary consciousness. So just maybe start to bring your awareness back, that you're coming back to your room, your everyday reality, looking around the room as you breathe yourself back to this space. Breathing yourself back, noticing your body, feel your body, look around, find 3 orange things in the room or around you. I pick orange, there's a lot of orange around me, or blue if you don't have any orange. Looking around, sort of anchoring yourself in this general state of consciousness. Okay. And then as you feel yourself returning to this state of consciousness, or carrying the awareness that these aspects are always accessible within you. Always accessible within you. So take 3 deep breaths. Wiggle your toes, move your fingers, maybe move your whole body. And the last piece to integrate is your journaling practice. So I'm going to say this quickly because I have to move on. But you can go back and listen to the replay before it gets taken down. What did each aspect of consciousness communicate to you? So just reflect. What did I feel, see, sense, know, taste, smell, touch? Like what was the experience or the sensation, if any? What did each presence feel, or how did it feel different from the others? Were they different? Were they similar? This is starting to build your literacy of aspects of self. What surprised you about the process, if anything? How does it feel to recognize that these aspects of your own consciousness, how does it feel to know that they're aspects of you, your consciousnesses, rather than external entities? How does that feel within you? Does it feel like truth? Is it challenging? What comes up? Where does it come from? What's your belief about it? And what resistance or skepticism arose? What's the skepticism? It's healthy to have skepticism. And what might that be protecting? So whenever something comes up, what is it protecting? Thank you. Okay. So if you'd like to learn more about any of that, you can go to mysticcynthia.com and go to services, and you'll see spirit literacy there. It's not available yet, but you can have a look at that website, what else is available, and you can also send me a message if you're interested in going deeper into any of that. Or put in an expression of interest. There's a contact form there. You can just let me know, hey, I'm interested in what you talked about today or what we went through today. And I can contact you when I'll send you an email when we start rolling that out in the near future. So I'm going to move on to our inner circle. I am late. Thank you for waiting. And until we meet again, may the blessings be. And take that with you into your day. Let me know wherever you're watching from. Just put a little note in the chat how you experience that. Some of you, it will be, it won't be new. Some of you will be like, what? Okay. So let me just detether from the live so I can go to, okay. So much love. And those of you that would like to come on Sunday, we have the House of Unconditional Love, first 3 Sundays of the month at 10 a.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. We have a free sharing service